Because this issue is so complex and so fraught with implications for California, we're dividing this program into three sections with three separate panels of experts. First, we're going to take a look at the effects on welfare recipients themselves, the mothers, the children, the fathers. Eloise Anderson is the Social Services Director in California. And Eloise, where do we go from here? Where are we going?
Well, I think what the governor has done is put his proposal on the table, and now the legislature has to answer some mighty important policy questions. And I think one of the first policy questions that they're going to have to face with is what do we believe about the notion of mothers working? And in the old AFDC program, the basic policy was that we believed we should keep mothers at home with their children.
At home with their children, right.
This throws that out the window.
Well, times have changed. We're now living in a two-income environment.
But I think that we have in the society a lot of underpinnings that really believe that we should have mothers at home with their children. And I think the second piece that kind of goes with that is the policy question of, do we believe that mothers have a part of the financial contribution to their children? And I think those two policy questions are going to have to be
Those are the two big issues.
And the safety net, which is, I think, on the other side of that, which is, what is the safety net? What's the purpose of it? Who should be in it? And how long should a person be allowed to be in it?
Let's take this to real life. Rebecca Hernandez, thank you, by the way, for coming in. The obvious question, Rebecca, is how did you end up on welfare? You're obviously a bright, intelligent, articulate person, and does not fit the stereotype of the person that we expect to see on welfare.
How I ended up on welfare is because I have children. I have 3 boys, and it became very difficult for me to find proper child care. I was unable to afford child care, and any job that I was able to take was not able to pay for the child care. And that's a big obstacle that many of the welfare recipients right now are coming up with. Yes, they want to go out and work. Yes, they want to go out and have a job.
But they're worried about their children.
But they're worried about their children.
All right, Casey McKeever from the Western Center on Law and Poverty. Is this a unique situation or is it general?
Oh, no. And I think Rebecca can say, as many can say, that she is working now, and many do work and have worked. The questions that Eloise raised are not new questions. They've been there for a long time, and you can answer them by saying, of course, women can be expected to work and can be expected to do something to make themselves employable. And it's no longer the situation it was in the 30s. I mean, we've had reforms that have been enacted over the last 10 years at least, more than that, and they've been moving in that direction. And it's fine to say that people should be expected to engage in activities to make themselves employable. That doesn't mean that what the governor's proposing, which is cutting someone off after a year with no cash aid, regardless of their situation, regardless how hard they're trying, is the way to approach the problem.
Eloise, is Rebecca doing anything wrong in her approach to dealing with her financial situation here?
In terms of working, I don't think so. I think what we have historically had is a need in this country for massive amounts of child care, both for the unworking poor, the working poor, and people who are not poor. Child care has been grossly underdeveloped, and I think that if we're going to have reforms, not just here but across the country, we're going to have to develop means to taking care of children.
But Eloise, your proposal only creates 20,000 slots for new kids, but there are going to be 300,000 at least, or maybe as many as 500,000 kids are going to need child care if they're going to follow the rules that the proposal sets forth.
I think if you look at our proposal, we're talking about budget year and then half a year out of that. We haven't gone beyond that in terms of what we set out for child care.
But the work rules are going to apply right away.
Well, if you look at the proposal says 2 things, is that 1, the federal government has a 5-year lifetime limit. Do we really want people to stay on the program till they hit their federal lifetime limit? Our response to that is no. Then we have a proposal where 24 people who've been on AFDC or who will be on assistance when this goes up have 2 years, and they have 2 years inside of 36 months, so 24 inside of 36.
We have less than a minute left. Rebecca, let me get you to have the last word here on this. How do you react to it?
Well, I've got another subject I want to bring up real fast. Many of the women will not be on welfare if they are able to get their child support that they deserve from their ex-husbands or from the fathers of the children. I have went out and I have applied to the district attorney's office, gave them all the information through my ex-husband, and they come back and they're saying unable to find him. I'm supposed to get $1,500 a month. I'd never be on welfare if I...
If you could get that money.
Exactly.